If you're a dealership, I am going to give you a gem today. I've been doing social media and paid ads for RV dealerships for over 12 years. And I asked myself the other day, if I owned a dealership, what would I ask agencies to do marketing for me? What would I ask them to vet who's good and who's not? Because how do you tell? Well, most people can't tell. And that's why I did a case study about a year ago, massive case study, where I studied thousands of meta ads for RV dealerships. It was 577 RV dealerships. And what I found, 74% of the Facebook ads, 74% were garbage, waste of money. Throw it into the black bit of marketing. You're not going to get a good result. The two questions I would ask to avoid that is number one, and if they cannot answer number one, don't go to number two. In fact, if it's someone in-house that's doing it for you, look, I'm sure you love them. They wear a lot of hats. Move them out of the role of Facebook ads. It's too important of a role to have somebody who's not an expert in there. The difference between somebody who is a pro and who's an amateur is too great of a gap. So here's the question. What are you doing to adjust for Andromeda? If they look at you, now make sure you ask them where they can't Google it, right? Don't call your marketer and say, hey, what are you doing to adjust for Andromeda, and give them enough time to, what is Andromeda? They need to know, okay? So ask in a way where it puts them on the spot where they have to know off the top of their head. Now, if they don't know what Andromeda is, as I said, you need to part ways or move them into a different role. Andromeda is Meta, so Meta owns Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. It's Meta's probably second biggest update ever as a company. And what it is it's bringing in their Advantage Plus, it's their artificial intelligence, in to help with, well, overall ad performance, but especially the targeting. Looking back at the case study, the number one issue I saw with dealerships is their targeting was off. They were doing too broad. It was a picture of it outside of an RV, and it would say, hey, we've got a great price, or this is our unit, come buy it. I mean, that's really, in essence, the vast majority of ads out there. But they're not targeting for a specific profile of somebody who would want that type of RV. Historically, what has happened is the targeting is built in what's called the ad set of the ad campaign. And we can target with pinpoint accuracy. In fact, every ad that you see in your newsfeed, Meta has looked at over 10,000 pieces of data of you in that ad to make sure it lines up. And what that does is that takes the average marketer. They did this because they said, okay, average marketer, you're not very good at targeting. We're going to help with that. Okay, Meta is going to help internally with that. And you're going to get better results. So ultimately, you're going to run more ads through us, and we're going to all raise the ships together, right? That sort of thing. What it's done, though, is it's taken the importance of that targeting in the ad set and moved it to the ad creative. And you have to make sure that you guide the AI in the targeting. Okay, they're not good at it yet. You have to guide them. When you guide them correctly, then you have to make sure that the creative, the text, the image, everything around that lines up, and all three of those. And when you do a good job of that, you get a really effective ad. Now, that's a very simplified version, but that's what Andromeda did. Is it said, look, we know that people are buying for different reasons. We know that they're not just buying because you have a great deal, a great unit that is on sale on clearance, right? They're buying because they might want a nice big bed. And they want that. They might want a really private bathroom. They might want bunks so they can sleep more people and bring their extended family, or have a hunting cabin, or bring their kids out to create core memories. It might be someone who really loves to cook. And when they travel, they want the conveniences of home, not only for the leftovers, to save money from going out, but it's just part of their lifestyle. They might want a bunch of storage. So similar to our situation, they want hers and hers with a little bit of his closet space. You know what I'm saying? So all these different reasons, now we can say with Andromeda, instead of doing broad targeting on the front end, it's more hyper-focused on the end result that person, the lifestyle, with their demo and psychographics. So you can take one unit. It doesn't matter what type of unit, okay? Just grab one. And instead of making one ad, picture of the outside, a generic caption about how great your pricing is, whatever. And now you say, okay, well, we're going to take that unit. But what else is great about this unit? Okay, well, it's got good storage. That's a separate post. Show a picture of the storage. Talk about the storage. Lead in with that with the text. Hey, you got a bunch of stuff that you need to store while you're camping? Hey, do you pack too many sweaters in fall season when you go camping? You can have all of these different ads for all the different scenarios of why somebody would want that one RV, that one unit. So again, having a private bathroom, having whatever's remarkable with that unit, have an ad about. Now, that leads us to the second question. If somebody passes the first test where they know about Andromeda, which very few people will pass that test. But if they do, pick a unit that you have. Ask them, okay, I've got this unit. Tell me how you would market or write an ad for this unit. Break down the profile of somebody who would want this unit. It's that simple. Because they not only have to know how to perform within Meta and get the ads built and performing, but to get them to perform and to sell an RV, they have to understand who is buying and what their experience that they're looking to have is. Ultimately, that's the question. As a marketer, when I'm writing these ads, I say, okay, they want these units to be sold. What is the experience that someone who is buying that RV is looking to have? And I reverse engineer the ad based on that, based on the profile. Again, breaking it down. Lightweight travel trailer that could be a variety of different scenarios. And we have to target them and create a bunch of different scenarios. Like, for example, a hunting cabin. It's hunting season. That could be parked on a property as a hunting cabin. That would be its own niche campaign on its own. You can do unlimited creatives to back that so that they reach the right type of person who would be interested in that. But a lightweight travel trailer also might mean, with bunks, might be someone who's a young family. They have young kids. They're going to take 1.3 vacations per year, maybe be weekend warriors. They want to pull it with their existing vehicle, so it's got to be under X amount of pounds. But so that would be a very different ad than the same unit looking to have a hunting cabin. And then on top of that, you look at something like a luxury fifth wheel, and we're talking about someone who might be nearing retirement. They might be seasonal campers, snowbirds. I mean, you understand, being in the industry, how deep we can go down this rabbit hole. And that's what we have to do. Sometimes people are shocked at how many ads I create. Usually when I'm looking at competition of my clients, they have 1, 5, maybe 12 ads running. For the same budget as someone who's got 12 ads running, I'll have 80. Because I have all these variations, and we can pinpoint, again, the exact person who would want to buy that unit at the right time. So, recapping, how are you adjusting for Andromeda? That's number one. Number two is take this unit and tell me about how you would go ahead and create a campaign and the end user, how you would sell that to them. In fact, if you message me, I'll go ahead and do a free audit of your social media. I'll record a video, send it to you with what I feel needs to be done. Now, if you have ads right now and you want to know if they're good, let me know. I'll do a free audit of your Facebook ads and let you know what I would change. You can do those changes, have your team do those changes, or you can hire me.